Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be installing the new revised 2018 soft top for the JL Wrangler Unlimited. Here we go. The dual top group is an option. The soft top and roof hardware come in a gigantic box that's in the back of your Jeep. We're going to go with the length here is 4 feet and 10 inches long. And it's got a width of about 3 feet and half an inch. The height was 1 foot 10 inches and it fit perfectly in the back of the Unlimited Wrangler. Very careful when going through these boxes. Some of these boxes are empty. They just take up the space inside that box. They're almost like packing material. So go through each box really carefully, making sure that you get all the hardware from each box. There are no instructions or manual included for the soft top. The PDF is available online through jeep.com. Having a Jeep is probably the closest thing you can get to owning a Transformer. Having all these different options also means that you're going to have a storage dilemma when it comes to storing the hard top and or soft top in its off use. You're also going to need a place to keep the Freedom top and the doors if you choose to take them off. Check the internet for a plethora of DIY projects and aftermarket products that make some of this storage a little bit easier. The Wrangler came from the factory with the 3-piece Freedom top. I hope I don't get in trouble for nudity because we're about to go topless. Your Wrangler comes provided with a toolkit. Open the rear swing gate and pull up on the nylon loop to reveal the toolkit. The kit contains a Torx 50 and ratcheting Torx 40 wrench. And 15 millimeter. Sadly, I only got one use out of mine as the ratcheting selector broke. First, we're going to remove the Freedom tops. So we're going to pull down the visors, and there are 2 clips here. There are 2 clips on each side here, and there are 2 clips in the rear. Then you have these latches. Pull them apart. The tops pivot on a little rubber gasket. Remove the driver's side panel USDM first. It rests upon the passenger panel.
And then you take them away.
Locate 2 T50 bolts on top of each B-pillar. Turn each bolt to the left to loosen it. Remove each bolt and store the T50s in this amazing tray in the rear so you do not lose or confuse each bolt when you're taking the door, windshield, or roof off. In the rear of the Wrangler, there are 3 T50s under each window of the hardtop. Remove the 3 T50s from each side under the window. Behind the left rear roll bar is a wiring harness and the washer hose.
Yep.
To release the little red switch, pull down on it and then push the red switch inward while you pull the whole entire wiring harness down. Next, locate the washer fluid hose and press in on the metal connect to activate the quick disconnect. A little bit of fluid will come out, but it's not going to spill out everywhere. This wiring harness will plug itself into the back of this to retain itself. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm getting right there.
That's the natural.
That is odd.
But then that just hangs out there in the way.
This is going to hang out here like that. And just spew.
Little BB.
Washer fluid. Okay, cool thing is you could lock this back on too. So this little red tab will lock back onto that.
I see like the thought behind that piece, but then the almost thought behind this piece.
What's up with that? That is just odd. For now, argument's sake. To make our lives even easier, we purchased the Serco hardtop carrier and storage rack made in the US of A. Yes. Alright, so what we're going to try and do here for the Serco, per the Serco instructions, is we are going to lean the glass back onto this little tab and then simply rest it upright, and then we're going to wheel it inside into the garage. That is going to be where it's going to live for the summer. We swung the gate open not to hit the center mount brake light on the way out. Be mindful that the rear glass is going to want to swing out, so if you support it with one hand in the back and kind of lift under that rear window, you can get some good leverage to lift it up over. Now we have to move it to you.
To me,
to
right?
you.
There.
Got it. All right. that looks a little more evenly spaced, distributed from side. We could go to me a little more.
How do you feel like the glass is doing?
Glass is doing really well. You know why?
No.
Glass is on these foam pads. That is beautiful. When you have each of these sides correct with these little foot pads here, underneath supporting the glass, which is making the glass not fall, it's perfectly laid on the lip of this foam piece that they have put over one of their arms here. That's a great design. So I would say that the JL definitely fits.
Look, it's on there.
Onto the Serco carrier. There's no doubt about it.
All right, I'm pushing it. Okay, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna unlock them.
Okay, I'll unlock the other wheel.
This probably means lock off. Right, lock off.
Yeah, off would be lock off. We are mobile. Okay, you're going to clear the door perfectly, no problem there.
Did not think about that.
Nope, didn't even think, and it's perfect.
I'd like to throw some like other foamage.
For sure.
On top of it.
I think the Unlimited looks amazing with the top off. Before you can install the Sunrider soft top, you have to install a bunch of plastic PA6 roof rails. The roof rails are essentially a guide for the soft top to ride on. The kit consists of 2 C to B pillar rails and 2 B to A pillar rails that meet the windshield. We'll start with the rail closest to the windshield, which is the A to B pillar rail. The rail has threaded inserts on one side only. That's the side that goes on top. This will help you fit the roof rail into the weather stripping. From above, you'll notice 2 holes on the roll bar section. That will line up with these small tabs. Double check that the roof rail is well seated inside of those receiving holes. Now, using 2 of the longest bolts that come with the hardware kit, thread them from underneath up inside to the threaded inserts. Then you can start to thread your bolt gently, giving it some light turns, making sure you're not cross-threading it, and gently come up. Perfect. Perfektenschlag, as the Schroots like to say. Felt a little bit of resistance, but nothing, nope, nothing scared me there. Perfect.
Do not over tighten. Do not under tighten either.
So you should have 2 of these bottom frame rails. This is going to be your C pillar. A pillar, the B pillar, and this should lock in with the tabs. Corresponding, once again, making sure that the weather stripping, very important. It's here. This little rubber pin will drop into there. It's another just piece of weather stripping and or noise suppression. It could be for NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. Once again, that weather strip right here, kind of folded over. So you want to make sure you pull this weather stripping up and make sure that this rubber is seated. And then you can match up.
Yep, make sure they're in there flat. And screw them in.
And once again, 2 longer bolts from the bottom.
All right. We got like one whole side kind of on there. Hard to see. Side.
Where did they put the other half?
Where did the other piece go?
Tuck itself under. Make sure that one's good to go. Go around from the inside and take the 2 bolts with the collars on them and insert them from the bottom up into the top of the frame rail. Next, install the 2 rear retainers using the 2 Torx 50 bolts. Torque is 119.5 inch-pounds. Just get them tight, don't over-tighten them. The mounting threads are located inside this plastic cover about 3/4 of the way up on the roll bar. Locking tab clips on them. They're clips. Just pop it out. They will come out. Just be gentle because you don't want to break them. They will break.
I see what it says.
Nice. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Right hand, 4-door up. So it's obviously the 4-door top, which is good because it's got the rails with the system. When it says right hand, it's when you're sitting in the car. Even if you're facing the engine and it says right hand, you have to flip yourself around, put yourself in the car, and then put your right hand out, and that's the right side of the engine, no matter what. In Europe, it depends if the wheel's on the right or the left. That's the right side of the car. This is the left side of the car.
Good.
So we got the left hand, which when we're at the back of the Jeep is the USDM driver side left hand. Then you want to line this one tab up. There's an arrow here pointing up. So you want to line this one tab up with this hole. And then the other tab will go in this little receiver here. And then both of your bolt holes will line up. Take one of the T40s without the collar on it. Don't cross thread it like I almost just did. These very easily cross thread. This is not the first one that this has happened to. They're very fine threads, and you really have to take care with these. Taking a look at the soft top, you want to make sure that these are in the locked position. This will make sure that the Sunrider top doesn't start to unfold on you while you're carrying it. Remove the cover from the Velcro bag. The Velcro bag is one-time use only. There's also a bunch of foam inserts that protect the top from all the rivets and bolts that are inside. You'll have to take all those foam inserts out. You can do this by yourself, but it is awkward because the two arms are going to start to move independently. Having two people, it was just easier just to bring it out. If you have a dolly, you might be able to wheel it out on a dolly. That'll make it a lot easier just getting it to the Jeep. Take note on how I swung one of the arms over the roll bar and the mechanism stayed within the roll bar.
To the inside. Rest that down there. Perfect. Rest it on the... Tip that up.
In order to line the brackets up, you want to make sure the top is in its full Sunrider position, which is all the way back. Note how the tab on the bracket lines up with the mechanism itself and those little fins. Use the two T40 medium bolts and washers to attach the bracket to the mechanism. Now swing the other arm up with this tab and align it with this catch here on the top of the roof rail. Now, if you want to keep this in the Sunrider position, that's what those straps are for. Those straps will hold this here, like so. So this won't come popping up on you. Pretty neat. This isn't the only way to pull the top up. You can stand outside the Jeep and do it. You can stand from the back or stand on the sides if you have someone to help you. But there is a handle in here. There's a strut on each side that makes opening and closing really easy now. Makes it really easy. And then you can come around from the front here and just gently lower it down. The latches are spring-loaded and give you good mechanical advantage when closing them. You can also close them with one hand. Pull the latch all the way down and use the centerpiece to pivot to hook onto the frame. Then you can pull the whole entire assembly upwards and it'll latch. So now there are some numbers here on the side of these rails here. There's a 1 and a 2. The 2 is for the right hand side window. There's a small piece of Velcro up here which will correspond with the small piece of Velcro right here. And there is a track here with a small lip that will correspond with a small rail in here. If you look at this side of the rail, it has a pointed edge to it. Insert that in there, in that rail, until it stops and is flush with the Velcro. Then over on this side, there's a lip at this number 2, like so, lip in which this tab will go into. So once this is correctly positioned, you can put
Place that tab in, and then this piece here has a little lip. This lip will go underneath this flap.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Okay, a little tip here I found is to work this side first into this channel here. It seems to get a better seal. Make sure that clips in the side.
We might be driving this later.
Back window. Have the same thing up top here. So this piece will be the piece with the sharp point. You can insert that along the rail here.
Slide the rear window until it meets each side window. Next, locate the tailgate bar. You will feed the bottom of the rear window into the side of the channel on the tailgate bar. The tailgate bar will lock itself into some of those rear clips that you attached prior. Then feed the two sides of the rear window into the plastic channel. Once you've completed the other side, you can check for leaks. You are ready to rock and roll.
And where they're supposed to, they're supposed to flap over this piece, over that piece like so. Now you can do some other adjustments to get that correct. Done. That's a soft top install.
Soft top.
Weather plays a huge part on the expansion and contraction of the top, so don't be alarmed in inclement weather if you can't get the top closed right away.
Right, everyone, I really hope this helps everybody out. It's the first look at the JL Soft Top by Best Top. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and destroy that like button for me, and we will catch you soon. We're going to have some more JL content coming your way later on, everybody.